So the biggest question on my mind right now is Cat Ninja a good series that'll stand the test of time or just a fad? Well, either way, the series seems to be over by now. There's 5 books to talk about. Yeah, only 5. That's all that came out. This is as close to the modern times of right now that I'm willing to get. I started to do another book series like a couple weeks ago, and I realized there's going to be another one. So, yeah, not a good idea. But I feel fairly confident in saying that Cat Ninja is over. I've looked at the dates on the inside. They date from 2020 to 2023. And with 5 books, yeah, it's kind of like, boom, boom, boom production line, publishing. This is not an in-depth look. They're new enough that I don't have to introduce people to them. Everyone knows them already. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on them. Okay, first off, one I've been holding out for a while. The original Cat Ninja. Not Ninja Cat. Cat Ninja. Yeah. That's a running joke in the series for those of you who don't know. So the books are written by Matthew Cody. See that name there. And for only this book, I don't know why, the artist, for the most part, is Yehudi Mercado. I do have another one of his books. And I gotta say, his style, not really a fan of it here for this series. I don't like his designs for Cat Ninja, most characters. What the Cat Ninja series basically is little short stories that can sometimes tie together with time passage or a little snippet of information or something. But for the most part, they're not connected. And that's another thing that's kind of hard to grasp. For most of the series, it's individual chapters with little to nothing to connect them. And I think premise is good. And, secret agent pets, they're a good thing to have. I like that concept a lot. I loved it back in Phineas and Ferb, and I think I even love it better here. Mostly because I have cats. I don't have a platypus. I mean, who does? But I think it works here. And an evil genius rodent is, well, it's not original, but I think it works here. He's a really funny character, the hamster is. So, yeah. Not as funny as he could be. My favorite a supervillain rodent type character is still probably Dr. Colosso from the Thundermans, I believe it was. Yeah, the hamster in this, pretty good. A very close second. Now, yeah, and unlike most series where there's secret agent pets, they usually play it so the family doesn't know. Well, in this series, it's a little different. They twist it just a bit. They make it very clear that early on is when the kids find out. And that's actually pretty cool that they do that so soon after the series starts. It's not something you see usually. Of course, you gotta, keep some of it secret. So, of course, their parents don't know. Another thing that, I told you about how most of these books are just individual chapters that has nothing going on. Well, that's 3 of the books. Yeah, 3. The other 2, which is 2 and 4, this is being the second one, it's called Time Heist. Those 2 books have whole stories to go in them. It's not just, the chapters that loosely connect. They're entire stories. Yeah, it's weird. So the first, the third, and the 5th ones have chapters that don't go into each other. They're just short stories, inside a whole book. 2 and 4 are whole stories within the book. I never heard of another series doing something like that. I think it's unique. It definitely gives the books their own unique flavor. And it's definitely interesting. So if you want to read a short story or a little snippet of an adventure, you have the other books for that. If you want to read a whole story, you got these books for that. So, yeah, it's something that would appeal to a mass audience, is what I'm saying. This story, weird, but not entirely alienating, because it's about time travel. I love time travel. Who doesn't? I mean, it has its own take on it, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. It's still a great story. Oh, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the illustrator who started on this book, but pretty much made the series what it was from here on out. It's Chad Thomas, for the most part. Yeah, he's the illustrator that's credited on the covers, and he does the majority of the actual main event stories. But for some reason, the series opts for different illustrators in different chapters, and sometimes even different writers. Like, if any series has this created by subtitle, yeah, that would be Matthew Cody. He's the creator, technically, but everyone else kind of just gets a shot to work on it. You know, it's very weird, but it's a collaborative effort. So you take what you can get with it. Now, some illustrators I like, some I don't. We've already talked about Yehudi Mercado. I don't think his style works for this series, but, you know, that's just one of many. Some of them are really good. Let's see. The next three is Wanted. This one, I don't remember this one that much. Stolen Identity, wannabe villain who really stinks at his job. Oh, okay. This one introduces a new character that I really thought was kind of cool. It's this rat who's a detective, a supernatural detective, and I'm like, okay, that is pretty interesting in and of itself. But add to the fact that she's British, and I'm like, okay, she's in the good graces with me. That's just too cool for words, you know? Okay. And the only other book in this series to have it be one continuous story, and believe it or not, the first one I read. Yeah, out of order, sorry. Welcome to the Burbs. It's about a fish uprising because some mad scientist invented a evolution/de-evolution ray, and the fish got really smart, and they ended up being this giant mob organization that runs the entire suburb. I gotta tell you, when I first read this, I was like, okay, that's definitely a twist. How do I feel about it? Man, it took me a while, but I just love it. And I think it reminded me of something that Johnny Test might do back in the day. And I love that show. So, yeah, you know what? These books invoke that style of comedy. And I really love it for that. Last but not least, the newest one came out in 2023. And I haven't heard a snippet of the series since. So, I don't know. It's probably the last. Maybe. Cat's Claw. This is actually kind of written as a finale, even though it's not like continuous story throughout. It's not one of those ones. The Cat's Claw is a continuous story within. It's like a 4 or 5-parter. A whole lot of heroes and villains in the series that team up together. It has sort of an epic finale feel to it. So if this really is the last one, then that would explain it. And, well, now I kind of feel bad that it's over. Yeah, I really wanted more of this because this is really good stuff. But unfortunately, it seems like this is the last one. And I'm really looking forward to what Matthew Cody is doing now, because I like his sense of comedy. His style of writing is very unique, and the character designs that Chad Thomas brings, I really love it. I wish I could see more of his work. What's he working on? Does anyone have a clue? Point me in the right direction. But yeah, for anyone who loves cats, who loves the secret agent pet gimmick, and who just loves, wacky comedy and a good time, you can't do better than this series. You just can't. Anyway, that's my thoughts. So anyway, I've got more Book Nook episodes coming up shortly. We'll see snippets of Todd Strasser and Jonathan Belair's, and just a lot of general stuff that doesn't get much love nowadays. But it could, because that's what this series is for. And I will see you next time. In the meantime, please like, comment, consider subscribing. You don't have to if you don't want to. Great series. Bad design first book, but otherwise, great series. See you later.